Okay, I have no idea if this camera is working. I shot 2 videos with it since its accident. It was sitting here, and I had an extension cord in there, and I was using the blower, and the blower got stuck. The cord got stuck on the tire as I was blowing, and I whipped the cord. It pulled the cord out of the wall and shot the camera across the floor, and now the screen in the back is white. So I made 2 videos with it yesterday. One of them was with the car running, you guys saw it, and then a couple hours later I made another video, and it looked like the lens was covered with like fog, and I didn't even bother posting it. So this is just a test video. I don't really care if I can't see. We're going for the endurance run on this camera now. Okay, it has no button to take a picture. It has no latch to hold the batteries in, so every time I take the card out and put it back in, I tape it. It has a blurry spot, or several, and now it has no screen. And yet I still forget to plug in the other camera. This one I could charge the batteries, and they're good for a month. Yet I forget to charge the other camera, to use the other camera that was given to me by Tom Noble and all the guys. And plus, like I said, I can't intermingle this file with that file. That's the other drawback. If I videotape anything with that camera, I cannot put those files with the other files. They will not make a movie. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. It does it, but it will not complete it. So, I decided to turn that video on live today. What was it, like 5 minutes or whatever it was? Firing up Junior's car. I adjusted the carburetor a little bit. We talked a little bit. I did not know the streaming process was that slow. Junior says I'm too far away from the modem, whatever it is, and it's unaudible. So I took it down. It was up long enough for Mike to poke at me. Thanks, Mike. But yeah. That said, the red's looking good, huh? What was I gonna say? I took Junior to look at a car today that I spotted earlier in the day, and I took him to look at a '79 AMX, which is a Spirit. Okay, 77 AMX is a Hornet, 78 AMX is a Concorde, 79 is a Spirit, and that was the end of them. So it's the smallest of all of them, and it's the hatch. I saw it in some guy's driveway. The bump is literally touching the street. It's only maybe 5 feet from the street. No plates on it, and when I drove by it, the nose was up in the air. So I thought the engine was gone. It's the typical black. Still has the turbine wheels on it. You know, has the AMX written on the door, AMX written across the back, the big thing on the hood, the fender flares, the front spoiler, the rear spoiler. And I took Junior back there, and Junior's like, "Dad, stop, I'll ask, you know, if it's for sale." I said, "Okay." So I parked across the street. It's a pretty busy road. He walked across the street, he knocked on the door, he waited. He had to wait there. It felt like an eternity, I'm sure. A good 30 seconds, he turned around and walked away, and the guy opened the door. And Junior didn't hear him, so I'm across the street, I'm pointing. Turn around, and he turns around, and there's the guy. With that, I got out of the car. It's the guy's daughter's car. And I guess the daughter and the boyfriend were working on it, and they moved out of state. Supposedly they're coming in a couple of weeks to pick it up. But he had me leave our name and number and whatever. It's a project that was started, and I guess you'd classify it as a basket case at this point. What parts do they have and what are salvageable? I'm not sure. He said he had a whole load of parts in the garage. I just know there's no interior in it whatsoever, including the dashboard. The steering column's there. What I do know is it was raised up in the front because it was on a jack. There is a V8 in it. I don't know what size. It's an automatic. It has the same rear as this in it. It has an 8.8 with disc brakes in the back and a 355 or 354. It says it right on it, on the rear cover. To the correct length, like this one, width. That part I do know. The drive shaft was sitting inside the car, along with a ton of crap that had nothing to do with the car. And everything was pretty oxidized, like the intake and everything. So all he knew was it was his daughter's car. She bought it. It was a running and driving car, and they decided to work on it. And supposedly he pulled the motor out, rebuilt it, and they were working on it, and things just happened, and the car just sits there like that. The complete grille, bumper, headlights, and everything are off the car. Hood, everything's on the nose except for the grille and everything. Supposedly that's all in the garage. Everything was in the back of the car, meaning, you know, tail lights and stuff like that. And told Junior, see what they say. You got nothing to lose, right? I'm not looking for another project, so I'm not really worried about it. But it is what it is. Like I said to Junior, it's easily a foot shorter than this car, because I think the wheelbase is 13 inches shorter than this car. So it's this car in a two-door, but not lengthening this, taking that out, and then obviously a hatch. I've always considered this car a four-door Gremlin. I think it's very similar in the back. It's definitely similar in the front, and it just has four doors. So, but with that said, car seems to be running good. I said to Junior, we can't tune it anymore. I think I said this the other day. We can't tune it anymore. Well, I said it in the video, it didn't come out. We can't tune it anymore until we're driving it. So, meaning like ignition curve and stuff like that. The ignition timing set, carburetor set to the best of our ability. I think the idle is going to be a tad bit more than he's thinking right now, because, you know, he wants to hear the cam, which makes that air cleaner shake back and forth like a foot. But the bottom line is, when he drops it in gear, I'm probably looking for in gear like 850, and probably add a gear 1,000. So if we can do something in that.